Okay, hi. We're doing limiting reactants right now. And as I explained in class, it uses a lot of different concepts all at the same time. So even though these problems might seem pretty straightforward and simple, they're not. So if you're confused, it's okay, because there's a ton of things coming at you. So I want to walk through one of these problems and explain all the different skills you're using as you do it. And I'm going to explain it with the method that I prefer and that I think is the most simple, which is the dimensional analysis method, also known by me as the sandwich-o-matic method. Okay, so let's take a look at number 9.6, the top of page 3. And it's a great example. It has a little bit of everything. So taking some solid lithium, you're adding to it some nitrogen gas. 2 there is because it's one of our 7 diatomics. And we're making this compound, the form Li3N. This must be lithium nitride, and it's also solid. We know it's not balanced. There's 3 lithium here. I'm sorry, 1 over there. So let's fix this with some lithium, some nitrogen. Got 1 over here. Got 2 nitrogen atoms. Over here there are 3 lithium atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. Fix whatever you want first. Let's do the lithiums first. All right, I'll put 3 over there. Got 3 lithium. Now I want to fix the nitrogens. I would have put a 2 there. Now I have 2 nitrogens, but oops, I changed that. So now I've got 6 lithiums. I got to go back here and change this to 6. Now it's balanced. Okay. And now what the problem says is if you have 56 grams of both lithium and nitrogen, how much lithium nitride gets made? Well, the way we have to tackle this is by doing 2 separate problems. First, if we know the grams of lithium, we find out how many moles of lithium nitride can I make. The second one is say, well, what if we use up all of our nitrogen? Then how many moles of lithium nitride can you make? And this is kind of like the bikes and the wheels. If I use up all of my frames, for example, how many bikes can I make? If I use up all my wheels, how many bikes can I make? You know, whenever you're mixing things together, you just have to figure out if I use all of one ingredient up, how much can I make? If I use all the other ingredients up, how much will I make? If you're making pancake, it doesn't matter if you have 50 dozen eggs. If you only have 1 cup of milk, you're not making all that many pancakes. Whatever first drives it. So let's take this first situation. Um, so grams of lithium to moles of lithium nitride. I don't know a direct way to go from grams of lithium to moles of lithium nitride, but what I can do is go from grams of lithium to moles of lithium, and then using the balanced chemical equation, that's why we balance them, I can take that moles of lithium nitride. That's what I'm going to do, and that will answer this first question here, which is if I use all my grams of lithium nitride, the lithium rather, how much lithium nitride can I make? Clean that up a bit. I'll do better. The second question then is if I use up all my nitrogen, how much lithium nitride can I make? So you have to do this both. So we just set up the plan for the first one here. And this is the one that I guess is doing red to keep it consistent. Um, grams of lithium to moles of lithium nitride. Don't know how to do it in one step, but I can go from grams of lithium to moles of lithium. Then I can go to moles of lithium nitride. So let's jump into that. I'm doing 2 conversions here. Here's the sandwich-o-matic part. We need to build a tool, then use the tool. The tool is going to be a conversion that helps me go from grams of lithium to moles of lithium to moles of lithium nitride. Each of these arrows represents one conversion. I call them sandwiches to make it easy for me to memorize. And I always talked about how if you take the first piece of bread, where's it going to go on that sandwich? On the top or bottom? Well, it's got to go on bottom because it can't magically float in the air while you put the other piece of bread under it when you're making a sandwich. So the second piece of bread in the sandwich goes on top. Yes, it's stupid, but I remember it, and you will too. Second, got one, you got 2 sandwiches to make. Second one, moles of lithium, that's the first piece of bread. Second piece of bread goes on top. I'm sorry this is so sloppy, it's tough for me to write vertically across my keyboard. Okay, so this is going to be the tool, but you have to put numbers in there. So you can either put 1 gram of lithium is a certain number of moles of lithium, or 1 mole of lithium is a certain number of grams of lithium. That's right. It's easier to say 1 mole of lithium is 7 grams of lithium. Where did I get that piece of information? From this, lithium. Its mass is 6.94. I'll try and blow that up a little bit. It's pretty fuzzy, but you can see it there. Okay, so we're going to call that 7. All right, so back. Okay, so we're saying that 1 mole of lithium is 7 grams of lithium from the periodic table. That's beautiful. And then over here, we need to put numbers in here. Moles of lithium nitride, moles of lithium. We need a mole-to-mole ratio. Where do we get mole-to-mole ratios? That's right, from the balanced chemical equation. 6 moles of lithium for every 2 moles of lithium nitride. So let's put that down here. 6 moles of lithium. Where'd that 6 come from? Right there, 6 moles of lithium in the balanced chemical equation. And then this is 3 moles of lithium nitride. Is that right? No, I double checked it. Did it wrong. We can fix that. Can we? Yes, we can. Yes, we did. All right, there. Now there's your tool. So now what you got to do is you take what you started with, which was 56 grams of lithium. And we're going to see if we can turn those grams of lithium into moles of lithium nitride by first going grams of lithium to moles of lithium to then to moles of lithium nitride. So start over here, 56.0 grams of lithium. Put it over 1 if it makes it feel better, multiplying straight through. Remember, this is not cross multiplication. It's multiplying straight across. So you end up with, let's check the units before we do math to make sure we didn't mess anything up. Grams of lithium on top, grams of lithium on bottom. Moles of lithium on top, moles of lithium on bottom. All we're left with are moles of lithium nitride. Awesome. So now I can move forward. It's 56.0, no units, times 1, no units, times 2, yes units, moles of lithium nitride, all divided by 7 times 6, 42. End up with 56 times 2, 112 lithium nitride moles, moles over 42. I don't know what that works out to mathematically. You can figure it out. Oh, what the heck, I'll do it for you. Let me think real hard, and magically, it's 2.667 moles of lithium nitride. Okay, so we've determined that it's going to be, if I use all of my lithium, all 56 grams of my lithium, I can make 2.667 moles of the product, lithium nitride. Well, but I don't know if I have enough nitrogen to make that work. So let's take another look and do the green problem now. Do the second half of this. Yes, there's 2 halves. Now granted, when you get faster at this and better at it, this will be super fast. I'm going very slow right now so you can see all the steps. So don't be freaked out by the fact that we're 8 minutes into this. It's going to be okay. All right, the second half of this is going from our grams of, shoot, what was it again? Nitrogen gas. 2 moles of lithium nitride. All right, same issues and concerns as before, and solutions too. We can't go directly from grams of nitrogen gas to moles of lithium nitride, but we can go from grams of nitrogen gas to moles of nitrogen gas, from there to moles of lithium nitride. How many sandwiches? 2. First sandwich, building a tool. First piece of bread goes in bottom. Can't have a magically floating piece of bread up here while you put the other one below it. So the second piece of bread goes on top. Remember, this is a sandwich. First piece of bread goes on bottom. Second piece of bread goes on top. Here's our second sandwich. Which one goes on top? This one. It's the second. Second piece of bread on top. First piece of bread on bottom. All right, now again, where do you can put the 1? 1 gram is a certain number of moles. 1 mole is a certain number of grams. Let's say 1 mole is 28 grams. How do we know it's 28 grams? because of, where is it? There it is, because we're talking about nitrogen. One atom is 14. We've got a mole of them. So let's go leave us with 28 for 2. 14 grams for a mole of nitrogen atoms, 2 atoms per molecule, so it's 28. All right, then we need moles of lithium nitride to moles of nitrogen. Where do you get that information? The balanced chemical equation. And here we're going to have what number is there if you don't see anything? That's a 1, and there's a 2 there. So 1 mole of nitrogen gas for every 2 moles of lithium nitride. We've built our tool. Now we use the tool by, again, what are we doing? Going from grams of nitrogen gas to moles of lithium nitride. How many grams did I start with? 56 of both. So 56 grams of nitrogen. All right, so 6.0 grams of nitrogen gas. Check the units. Do they cancel out? Grams on top, grams on bottom, moles on top, moles on bottom. Yes, they work out. Moles of lithium nitride. Awesome. So the math. 56.0, no units, times 1, no units, times 2 moles of lithium nitride, all over 28, no units, times 1, no units, and then you do the math, and you get 56 times 2 is 12 moles lithium nitride over 28, and what do we get there? 12 divided by 28 equals 4. That's nice, convenient, clean. 4 moles of lithium nitride. So, but remember, earlier we said that if we use all the lithium, we can only make 2.667 moles of lithium nitride. So what's it going to be, man? You've got one problem and 2 answers. Remember, we determined earlier that if we use all the lithium, then we would make 2.667 moles of lithium nitride. You can't have 2 answers for this problem. It's either 2.667 or it's 4 moles. Which one do you go with? The smaller one. What that means is lithium runs out when you've made that much. Lithium is used up. If we were able to make a full 4 moles of lithium nitride, we'd use all the nitrogen up. But that means that excess nitrogen is there. We did not use all of it. So we've determined how many moles. The last step we have to do is convert our moles of lithium nitride into grams of lithium nitride. That's a quick and easy one sandwich. Moles lithium nitride here. Grams of lithium nitride. We know 1 mole of lithium nitride is going to be, what's that? 14 times 3 is 42. Does that sound about right? And then another, oh, wait a minute. That's 7 times 21 and 14. So that is going to be 35 grams, I believe, of lithium nitride per 1 mole. If I have that wrong, you could probably do it better. And then we have that 2.667 moles of lithium nitride. Remember, we're turning this into grams. Check the units to cancel. Moles, moles, end up with grams. Perfect. So then whatever you get, 2.667 times 5 equals, that means you make 93 grams of nitride, give or take, sig figs notwithstanding. All right, so email me questions if I messed up any math on here. Sorry, I'm sure you can do a better job of that. But stop, pause it, replay it, send me emails if you have questions, and good luck, you guys. You will get this, I promise.